First and foremost, this is heavily opinion based and formed upon my 10 years of playing Osu. I'm not an expert when it comes to physical health. Always make sure to put your hands first, and if something doesn't feel right, stop playing and take a break. That being said, before trying any of the techniques listed in the video, make sure to fully warm up in your Osu session. When breaking your skill cap, this is highly important. I see far too many new players, and even players who have been playing for several years, putting too much force into their tapping. The majority of these players complain about not being able to do streams efficiently and running out of stamina really fast in general. For the most part, speed is mainly technique and some small limitations like genetics. Hopefully yes, you watching this has a mechanical keyboard, because this is where I can comfortably say it's about mastering your switch too. It doesn't matter what switch you're using as long as you're comfortable with it, and don't be afraid to go out there and try something new and ignore what others think. When tapping lighter, here are some things to consider. Do your best not to tense up when you see what seems to feel like a 300 BPM stream coming your way, no matter how bad you think you're going to do on it, or oh no I'm going to miss, that's because you're not used to this style of playing. Stick with it, tap lighter, and don't tense. When you have the sections of the map, which are considered just fillers to the hard sections, conserve your stamina. This is where you want to be tapping as light as possible. You won't master this straight away, and don't expect this to happen overnight. This takes patience. You'll want to try this on maps within your skill range. I recommend bursty stream maps to start. Even if I can't feel my tapping hand that much, I like to keep a mental note in my head with how fast I'm trying to go. Try to find a point where you can tap as light as possible and still feel comfortable with your tapping. As I mentioned earlier, there's a sweet spot to every switch, and that differs from keyboard to keyboard and from person to person, so just keep that in mind. I'll link a few of my favourites in the description of the video, which everyone can try. If you need the map to be faster, go download the FunOrange BPM changer and pick a BPM you're comfortable streaming with. After you've got comfortable with tapping, go about 20 BPM higher to push your comfort zone until this becomes second nature and feels good to tap light too. You'll have moments, we all do, where you'll need to tense up for that extra push of stamina, or you just need to offload. So we usually apply more force when that happens, which is fine, but don't make tensing a habit. Talking of habits, here's a good one I think we can all apply to our tapping. When you feel yourself running out of stamina, start to raise your entire arm in your hand like so. While keeping the tapping light, you should feel some extra stamina, as you're not going to be bottoming out as hard into your keyboard. This will take time to master too, but it's something I've started doing recently during the last couple of months, and I can't tell you how much it saved me in certain streams and situations. Here's an example score before refining my technique. I couldn't even achieve above a D rank for a couple of months, which sounds hard to believe, but I was generally trying to get a really good score on it. I was very happy with getting my first B rank pass. Now I can nearly SS the map. Just a reminder, you can't expect to get good overnight, or even in a week. It happens for some, but not for everyone. But I'm sure within a month or two, you'll notice some improvements with some of these habits. I'm going to take a quote from Ryan, also known as VUK, because I think it's another important reminder to consider when playing. Strain is good, pain is not. I'll leave a link in the description of the video, because I think Ryan's point of view is highly valuable with conjunction to this video. Here's another tip that might help you improve your stamina, which is pretty underlooked upon. Try to mess around with your tapping keys. What I mean by that is try a different row. If you're used to Z and X, try A and S for a week, just to see if you notice any benefit to your stamina. Hand position is highly important, and it might differ from time to time, just how we move our tablets around with our hands, or some of us change area on different days. You can try messing around with things such as your chair height too, or sit on some extra pillows, whatever works best for you. Here's another important thing we can take from the video. Notice how in the first clip, my fingers are changing from not being curled to more flat and not in the same position while streaming. This is a bad habit to pick up, as your fingers won't be doing the same type of movement while streaming, and it's pretty inconsistent to tap this way, and can even lead to more finger locking and worse attack overall. On the video on the right, notice how my fingers don't really change and remain in the same position while I'm tapping, nice and curled and more consistent. This is what you'll want to aim for. I'm going to show you a visual demonstration of the difference between good tapping technique and bad tapping technique. The play on the left is me playing with heavy tapping and not being mindful with conserving stamina. The video on the right is with the techniques I had previously spoken about in the video. See the difference? I'm much more relaxed with my tapping on the right. This can help with a lot of other things too, you probably wouldn't expect. Personally, I find my aim is a lot more speedy as I'm not focusing as much on my tapping, and this allows my aim to be much more stress-free. This is what you'll want to aim for if you want to play them speedy maps you always dreamed of playing. You can also see my fingers on the left being very stiff and tense. This is not how you'll want to be, whereas on the right, my fingers are a lot more loose. Sure, there's things such as caffeine, but I'm no expert so I wouldn't recommend these. Although I do drink the odd coffee for a session sometimes, and I do find it helps, but I don't rely on it so you shouldn't either. Anyway, in the long run, water is probably your best option. So, conclusion. Is there any secret sauce? Well, no, but this is definitely one way to improve your stamina and see some results, in my opinion. A mixture of tapping light, playing the correct maps, posture and hand position will maximize your ability to stream. Don't give up, keep your mental strong, you'll have off days as we all do, and you'll have setbacks where you can't reach your peak. Keep going at it and don't give up. It's gonna be hard, but I believe in you. Let me know how you get on in the comments, as I'd love to hear your results too. I don't care if it's 4-star or 10-star, it's all subjective, and as long as you're seeing improvement in yourself, that's all that should matter. If you liked the video, click that subscriber button and don't forget to like the video. I plan to make more of these videos and other subjects too for OSU, so if you enjoyed the video, this would be highly appreciated. Spare out.